Assalamualaikum everyone, this is Ayesha from CxO Global Forum, a knowledge sharing platform for all the C levels across Pakistan and around the globe. Every time we have some very interesting guests with us today as well. We have Sir Sohail Sarwar, who is the CEO of Kaprix Consulting. Assalamualaikum sir, how are you?
Walaikum salam. Thank you so very much, Aisha, for having me. And assalamu alaikum, everybody who is watching, whoever is watching us live or maybe the recorded one. So, it would be great to know from where our audience is. So,
I'll
if they
have
can put,
to check.
yeah.
So, sir, starting off with your background, can you tell me about your background and what led you to become the CEO of the Digital Business Transformation Consultancy?
Yeah, thank you, Aisha. For first of all, I would like to thank CxO Global Forum for providing me and other CxOs this opportunity where they are sharing their portfolio, their career trajectory, their success stories, their learning outcomes, and their journey with all of the fellow members in CxO Global Community, as well as, of course, the extended platform where this streaming is going live. So, answering your question about myself, about my background, how I reached there to become the CEO of Caprix Consulting. I founded this company back in 2018 when I left one of the top tier consulting firm in Pakistan as a senior consultant digital transformation. Me and my sister, we co-founded this consulting practice. She left as a senior executive in marketing with one of the top tier technology company. So we both, started this company with the vision to contribute into the industry with our expertise, with our acumen, of course, over the period of time, the mindset, the skill set we managed to develop. So we thought we are meant for more. It was quite interesting to have that journey doing 9 to 5, working in a corporate culture, but definitely, your own dream to pursue your entrepreneurial spirit and that quest of being greater than who you are that urged us to start our own consulting firm. Right now, Alhamdulillah, Caprix has its head office in London, where right now I'm speaking with you, and we have office in Lahore as well. Over the period of like 4 years after acquiring top tier consulting experience with companies like Capgemini, was one of the largest consulting, not just in UK but globally, and then being McKinsey Step Forward alumni. So consolidating all those learnings, Alhamdulillah, we managed to acquire clients like which is the world's largest interest-free microfinance named Ahuat. Probably most of the audience and you must be aware about the work that Ahuat is doing so far. So we have been privileged that we managed to acquire them as a client and other businesses across the UK in professional services, uh, especially in the accountancy, because I'm a former accountant who turned
Right.
into a business technologist, and legal practices, and our love to give back to the community made us to develop our expertise even in the third sector we call, of course, non-profits. So we are working with several non-profits, not just in London, but in West Yorkshire, where I used to live for a couple of years before I moved to London. So that's a precise preface. Just for the better context, like Caprix is uh, fifth best CRM implementation services provider for the charity sector, nominated by HubSpot, which is second largest CRM platform after Salesforce. So we do have expertise in Salesforce as well. HubSpot, we are HubSpot partners, and then we have our own CRM platform. So why we are focused on CRM, of course, I'll be happy to explain further once we reach at that particular part of discussion in our conversation.
Right. So, moving forward with that, what do you find most exciting about working in this field?
I mean, the most exciting part of working in digital transformation, customer experience, workspace productivity, this is like a, quite evolving field. Every day, you come up with a new development. So pace of change is quite rapid. And for us, the most exciting part is to keep up with that changing dynamics, adapting those new learnings, and making those new technologies and methodologies adaptable for our customers. That's like keeps us motivated and keeps us on toes. And sometimes it can be challenging, to be honest. But it's the fun part. That's the challenging part. That's the most exciting part, I must say.
Right. So, how do you define digital business transformation and what role do you believe that it plays in today's business landscape?
A very interesting question. Actually, digital transformation, business transformation, and other related and supporting terms, which we heard most of the time in the marketing world, and everybody like defines a digital transformation with their own lens, which is actually the reality because each organization is different, context is different, their challenges are different. Hence, the meaning of digital transformation and business transformation is different for those organization and for those contexts. But the fundamental commonality is basically simply answering one single question: that how technology can help your business. uh, this is as that simple as it is, that
That
how different technologies, uh, including emerging technologies, including the either we call it mobile technologies or cloud technologies, social media, web, and of course AI is even more around here. It was around like almost like 5 6 decades, but with the emergence of generative AI and other AI capabilities, it's critical to understand that how this set of tools and technologies out there can impact your organization to grow, to sustain, and to thrive in the digital world. So, digital transformation for us and what we try to decode for our business starts from that single question, that how different technologies can help their business model, how they can give the competitive advantage to the businesses, how they can generate more revenues, how they can come up with the different business value propositions, how businesses can help their customer even better, how they can reduce the cost, how they can optimize their operations. So there are multiple KPIs, but there are three common themes we work around. One, the customer experience side, the front end, the breadwinning side. We can
right.
bifurcate that breadwinning side into sales, marketing, and customer services, and the digital experience. We collectively call it CX, customer experience. And on the inward side, it's all about having your enterprise resource planning systems in place, which impacts your business processes from end to end, like from lead generation to cash collection, from
Right.
procurement cycle initiation to the cash collection, procure to pay, and even the accounting and finance side. And last but not least, of course, human resources are the key component of any organization. So looking at the HR from a hire to retire process, literally looking end to end all these organizational processes, and trying to really visualize the clear vision that how these emerging technologies, either generative AI or the robotic process automation, or natural language processing, or the other capabilities of AI, APIs, like list goes on,
Right.
how those technologies can help a particular organization to achieve its goals, which is of course impacting positively the top line, and optimizing the operation side, so that they can increase the shareholder value by improvising their profits.
Right. So, sir, can you share an example of a successful digital transformation project that your company has undertaken?
Yeah, so I would love to share several case studies. Let's start from the customer experience side. And the most recent one, of course, which is related to the nonprofit, I would like to share where things were happening as they were happening. Like, uh, I won't say without structure. There is always as is scenario, then there is a to be scenario. Like organization which is working in a particular fashion, in a particular way, and then you come in with a fresh pair of ears and eyes, and you look into that observatory lens, you do the exploratory analysis, and you make the recommendation. Okay, this is what we can fix on the the customer experience. And in the nonprofit, uh, we call it donor experience, because donors are the one who are your customers. And what product you are selling, basically the product of the third sector, the charity, is we call an emotion of we call it oxytocin, which means when you donate, you feel good about it. And how you feel good about it? When you are being acknowledged through some message, through some gesture of acceptance, acknowledgement, as well as when you are receiving the proofs of execution from the charity side, that they have actually made the impact. So that's where the donor feel comfortable, or they becomes happy. So that's the the recent scenario where we managed to do that donor experience transformation from end to end. What is the front end, where donor connects with you on social media? Either they receive your email marketing message, or now you have available, of course, SMS marketing, WhatsApp, and other, of course, channels. So, and even the physical events. So these are multiple touch points where your donor connects with you, and then their data comes to your system, and then your system and people behind the system respond to that data, which is we call it propensity moduling. I
Right.
won't make it sound very complex, but why I'm mentioning, because I know there are several CxOs who are sitting on the boards of different nonprofits, and even these concepts and frameworks are equally valuable for the commercial organizations to look at their customers from these core perspective: the frequency of your customer, the recency of your customer, and the economic value that you generate, which means how much they contributed, for example, in terms of donation, when recently they made that donation, and how frequently they are making those donations. And in the commercial context, of course, when they made the purchase, how much, uh, what was the volume of their purchases, and how frequently they are making purchases. So if you segment your customers from this metrics, you can certainly classify a big chunk of customers to whom you can entertain as per their priority or the economic value they are generating. For example, few customers or donors, they are like premium ones because they are adding more value to the organization. So, which means your workforce should be, uh, entertain them on a priority basis, provide them better services, uh, answer their inquiries on priority. So either it's non-profit or even for profit. So in both scenarios, that core segmentation is very important. So we managed to, implement end-to-end all that system and processes to transform the customer slash donor journey for the organization, where workforce behind the system is taking the data driven decisions. They are actually looking at multiple touch points of those users slash donors slash customers, that how they are interacting with your organization, so that they can prioritize their services, their communication, and their approach to solve their inquiries. And not just that, this is like one part where the interaction comes in. On the other part, like when you sit back and relax as a CxO, who is responsible for drawing the destiny and destination for the organization, which means analyzing the data and driving the strategy. If you have something substantial in your hand in terms of analytics, when you have data, then you won't be making decisions just based on intuition. You will have solid evidences, in terms of those reports, custom reports, and those dashboards, where all those touch points, that how many visitors are coming to your site, or in your inbox, or in the chat box, or wherever, whatever those touch points are, how many visitors are actually getting converted into donors and then like customers, and what you could do better to optimize that conversion ratio, and how you can assess the productivity of your team itself. So, I mean, we can literally keep going on and on just for one case study on the customer experience side, that what are those key components which are kind of prerequisites to assess the as is scenario and convert it to be a successful transformation journey for non-profit and even for the commercial organization. So we recently been fortunate to execute that project, where we equipped with our customer with the methodology, um, as well as the technology, as well as the capacity building of the human resources. And in such kind of arrangements, I mean, our team becomes their team. So it's more of a collaborative effort. It's not like we know their business more than them. They know their business because they are into it for so many years. Uh, they are dedicated to make it happen. But of course, as a fresh pair of ears and eyes, a role of a consultant is to sit with the executive team to understand their vision, and sit with the management team to understand their strategy, and then interview and observe the execution and operational team to understand where are the gaps in their execution, and what are the areas where they can improve, and then making the list of recommendations, that this is something you can improve. And in that process, sometime it's just the method that you need to change, and sometimes it's the deployment of the technology itself. So we work in both capacity. That's why we call our promise to the organization is helping them to transform from KPIs to APIs, which means the business side, the key performance indicators, and then the technology part, which is which application protocol interface or which integrations are necessary to make it happen, what kind of data they can utilize, how they can customize those systems to really harvest the benefit available on those platforms, and how their team can leverage that customized solution on top of the data that they have in their system, plus the best practices out there in their industry, while evaluating the competition, while looking at their challenges. We call it three-level KYC: knowing your customer, knowing your competition, knowing your
Right.
competency, and then another slash C is knowing your challenges. So once you know things inward out, you are able to devise that methodology and utilize that technology, and we literally help them to do that. And that's exactly we did in our last assignment. Of course, I have limitations to disclose more in-depth information about what were the use cases for that organization, and what were the tangible outcomes in terms of the donation managed to raise for them, and so on and so forth. But I mean, I hope audience got the gist out of it. I'm not sure if we are receiving any comments
No,
or
I don't have any
questions
comments yet.
related to this, but yeah.
Okay, so sir, what are the key challenges organizations they typically face when they are undergoing this transformation, and how does your company address them?
I mean, the biggest challenge in the digital transformation is mindset, then the skill set, then the tool set, then its action set, and then the data set. So we literally bifurcate into those themes. It's more about the human psychology, the executives, making them believe, getting their buy-in. Yes, that's possible. And even the people who are involved at the operational level, you know, having them on board, aligning their thoughts with the vision of that transformation, selling them the benefits of that transformation. So that's the biggest challenge. Then definitely once you share what outcomes you can get out of these efforts, then there is a skill set metrics where you need we assess what we call training need assessment, TNA, that what are those areas where we need to train those people.
Right.
And that's about the skill set. And then the tool set, then which technology component either we need to optimize if they are using already, or we need to install, implement the new tools and technology, the new business architecture within that organization. And then when I say data set, I mean there we have observed over the period of time while working with the several projects and clients across the industry in Pakistan, in Europe, in Middle East, and of course in UK. Uh, Most of the organization underutilize their existing data, either that's customer data or the operations data. They already have like so much data sitting and sleeping within their inboxes and CRM systems, but they
Right.
don't do anything about it. So our job is really to look at what are those data attributes and the data schema which is already available there, and how they can leverage those insights. So conducting that exploratory analysis, and even making the recommendation that what additional data they need to acquire, so from the customers or from the operations or from the financial side. So once you align that attribute, that data schema for the organization, then you consolidate everything into one place. We call the what I mentioned is action set. Then
Okay.
step by step, guiding them, sharing them, and taking the buy-in from them. What's right and when, by whom in the organization to achieve the desired results, which can be revenue acceleration, donation acceleration, or the optimization of the processes, or reducing the number of complaints, or whatever KPI we want to achieve in any segment, either customer experience or the workspace productivity, or the overall business model innovation, which is another chapter altogether to discuss.
Right. So, how do you ensure that your team stays at the forefront of emerging technologies?
Well, you can't really boil the ocean all at once. You really need to pick your niche. To be
Right.
honest, we were making that mistake back in 2018-19, when we were trying to be on the edge of all those emerging technologies and trying to be kind of jack of all trades. But that puts you as a solution provider in a position where you spread yourself too thin, and that puts you in a position where you aren't sufficient for your customer either. So we learned, of course, from the top tier practices, they have more resources, but for the boutique consulting firm like us, we found our specialty on the customer experience side.
Right.
So then we cut down our operations on the ERP side and on the RPA, robotic process automation side. So we really pivoted ourselves on the customer experience, and then the overall digital transformation strategy. So now we coach and consult on digital transformation strategy. And on the solution side, it's all CRM related services. And in the CRM, of course, whatever emerging technologies are impacting, especially the generative AI nowadays. So we have our what we call R&D hours within week, and sometime uh, I personally spend efforts to do the R&D, that how the new emerging technologies can impact our product and our value proposition. And sometimes, of course, our team members are delegated with the particular research outcome, where I ask them to investigate the particular impact of certain technology on a certain business function. For example, um, in this week we were working on how chatbot autonomously can achieve the appointment setting within our CRM system, which is essentially replacing the role of a human. I mean, your salesperson, your Salesforce people are responsible to interact with your customer, which essentially the role of a salesperson won't be eradicated, but the repetitive side, like simply tasks like if somebody want to book an appointment and want to check and want to inquire certain questions, so we trained that AI model, uh, you know, on the data that we feed it about our organization, what we do, how we do, what are the case studies, what are the value propositions, so that that chatbot is reasonably equipped to speak with our customer, so that that lead is qualified, that customer is pre-qualified before they speak with our salesperson. So which means our business development time and effort will be curtailed, and we will be having more refined data and leads and convert them into rapidly into prospects. I mean, this is not something new to the new to the world, but it is something new to a particular segment to whom we are serving. So yeah, that's how we try to cope up with the previously we were using the same capability by a third party solution, but now we did our own R&D, that how we can consume the same capability within our own product, which is we
Right.
named it next level CRM. So yeah, so we are trying to take our research and development efforts to the next level, to make our product at next level, so that our customer can go to the next level.
Right. So, sir, how do you foster a culture of innovation and adaptability within your company?
It's not easy, to be honest. It is one of the challenging thing because you know, innovation comes when you have, available hours.
Right.
But how you can relate with it? I mean, if you are so busy into uh, day-to-day operations, and you have to achieve certain KPIs, then R&D hours gets curtailed, and sometimes innovation uh, sits on the back seat. But on the other side, I believe innovation is something which should be, and which is our which is as a DNA, as part of our DNA. If I talk about our core values, KAPRIX, which is the name of our firm, so
Right.
we are knowledgeable what we do, and then being accountable and passionate. The I within Caprix stands for integrity and innovation. So definitely that is like the innovation mindset is something which, as a provider, as a consultant, who aim to provide extended value to their customers, I mean, they should have, and we definitely have that as a part of our DNA. But how we make sure that we are innovative, we are on the edge of the next thing coming into the market, that is a consistent effort. And how do we make sure have having that one-to-one conversation with the team members, and looking at the challenges from a different eye, from a different perspective, then how we can solve this challenge rapidly and effectively and even better. So yeah, as Edward de Bono says, you can be consciously creative. So we try to be, those ones who are constantly learning and constantly innovating, not putting limits on our mind with the boundary rationality. So always being curious. So curiosity is the seed towards innovation, I must say. If you are curious, always open-minded, challenging your own thought process, open to the feedback from your peers, and even empathizing while listening to your customers, and being open that idea can come from any level, no matter it's like the top leadership or the bottom new entrant in your organization, which is relatively junior, but sometimes like they pop up with something which is innovative. So how do you foster that culture? By appreciating their efforts, by
Right.
appreciating their contribution, by acknowledging their innovative ideas. So they should intrinsically or by default should feel like they are being acknowledged, and that is the, I mean, conscious effort any leader can make in their organization to foster the culture of innovation. If that answers your question.
So, outside of work, what are some of your interests or I would say hobbies that you are passionate about?
I'm passionate about meeting new people, understanding their problems, understanding, yeah, and trying to feel, the heat in their shoe, and that happens when you actually connect with them. So I'm most of the time, spending time with the in the social events in London, meeting Pakistani diaspora as well as other communities, networking with the diversity and getting along, understanding what they are up to. So yeah, networking, exploring. These are my hobbies, and reading definitely, and spending my time on personal development, spending time with my coaches, in fact. So yeah, that's and of course, family is something which is on top of everything. But thanks to the family, which is supportive enough, sometimes their time becomes sacrificed, but they are kind enough to
Right.
always support me to meet my passion, and those things which you can count as a hobby.
So, sir, what advice would you give to organizations embarking on their digital transformation journey?
Yeah, the advice would be, I mean, that's a difficult one because advice for each organization is most of the time tailored. Uh, because every organization has their own situation, own challenges, and advice is like customized as per their situation. But one advice, which is journal or the universal, that is, don't just compromise on where you are. Always be in the discovery. Always think beyond what you already have. I mean, if we think we are good, okay, you are good. But if you settle at good, you can't be great. So you need to have that restless nature and discovery mode on always to explore the other avenues. सितारों से आगे जहां और भी हैं. And if you think like we know everything, we are good, and uh, we want to do everything by ourselves. I mean, yes, you might be able to do that, but it's worth considering to have a new, fresh pair of ears and eyes from the outside who can come up with a new experience, and they can contribute, which can accelerate the process of change that you are aiming to achieve within your organization. So, advice one: be open-minded, be in the discovery mode. Advice two: uh, community. As always rub with the shoulders with the like-minded people. Share your situation, discuss your challenges, seek advice, and see what other think about it. Like there are mastermind communities in this part of the world, and forums like CxOs are already there, where people do reconcile thoughts, but making a conscious effort to speak about certain challenges, either within the industry or within your particular organization. So that can be the best thing you can do. And last but not least, that is continuous development of your people, of your human resource. I mean, if you are every organization, and most of the organization, of course, have this impediment, but if you can literally make 1 or 2x more effort to develop your people, you will see different results. So investing in your human resource is the third advice I would like to make.
Right. So, thank you so much for your time. I hope that our viewers would be able to learn something out of this discussion. Once again, thank you so much for pulling out time for this discussion.
Thank you so much, Aisha, for having me, and thank you again for CXO Global Community, and thank you everyone who managed to take out some time and listen to this conversation.
Right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care.